Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bad Movie Night. My name's Chris. Tonight, checked out a movie called Don't Click. It's directed by Ji Hae Kim and stars Walter Skarsgård of the Skarsgårdian lineage. He looks very much like his brother Bill Skarsgård, who you know from the It movies. He plays Pennywise, but he has a very similar look. I think he might be one of the younger ones or the youngest one. I don't know. I didn't study up on my Skarsgårds, but he definitely looks like a Skarsgård brother. That's what this movie's about. Skarsgårds. Just kidding. So anyways, enough about the Skarsgårds. Don't Click is about two college freshmen, I guess, moved into this little apartment, and the one friend, Zane, has quite the fetish. He likes to go to the website beataslut.net, where you can watch on live shows women being tortured to death. And then some supernatural hijinks ensue from his choices he made by going to beataslut.net. So this is an interesting movie. I'll give it points for that. It's It's not that great. I didn't really enjoy it. This movie wavers into the torture porn thing, and it has a very strong theme that we will get to with some spoilers, and I will be spoiling this because I think the main problem with the movie is that it's so pointed and so wants to get across this theme at the cost of almost any kind of story. Let's just talk about broadly some of the positives here. The performances are okay for the writing. I think the Skarsgård brother is fine. The other actor who plays Zane is okay. The look, when you are in reality, I think it looks nice. They shoot a lot in this apartment. It might be a set. Either way, it looks nice. It looks dingy and dirty in a realistic way, and the lighting is okay. The sound design is all okay. The music is fine. You then get transported into this surreal, like dreamlike room where it feels like there's something wrong. But no, they kind of like slow the frame rate way down where it feels really framey. I don't know how else to describe it. You would understand when you see it, but it's like, it feels like it's running in slow motion, but without enough frames. And it's bad looking. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to paint like, oh, this is the difference from when you're in reality versus when you're in this room or whatever. But it just doesn't really work. It just kind of comes off as like, you think there's a technical problem, or it just is ugly to look at, unfortunately. There's a lot of gore in this movie. Like I said, it wavers into torture, porny, hostile-esque Saw territory. It never gets as gross as those, although there is a scene later on with what you would refer to as a wiener that is a little gross. And there's some eye gouging and blood and, gory aftermath, but nothing you wouldn't be used to if you've seen any of the Saw sequels. So it goes that way. I wasn't really expecting it to be a torture porn-esque movie, but I guess I really wasn't sure what to expect when I started watching this thing. Has supernatural elements. They don't really work for me. And like I said, the storyline here is so simple. And I know this is based on a short film, so it does feel stretched quite a bit. But it is heavy-handed with its theme. And I think the theme is confused. And maybe I'm just confused after watching it. But it's a brisk movie. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long. Wasn't really bored, but the movie does get repetitive. Perhaps they don't want me to speak of the Don't Click. But the movie does get repetitive because it goes between this supernatural room torture-y thing back into reality, and it becomes like the cycle where it keeps doing it and kind of trying to add more to this main storyline to make you understand, but you kind of knew everything up front anyways. So I'm going to get into some spoilers. I probably wouldn't recommend this, but it is interesting and a little bit unique in what it's trying to get across, so I give it points for that. But for the most part, it just comes off as kind of a muddled mess to me. So the movie is clearly going for a theme about, the disconnect we feel to the online content we consume and how we feel no moral obligation to these videos and things like that we view of people being tortured or hurt in some way. But I don't think the majority of people are interested in watching people be murdered in live stream format. Sure, there's an interest obviously in seeing death because death is part of human nature. But there's not many people arguing for the fact of wanting to watch some innocent person be murdered on a live stream. And so it's too far in the extreme. Like, if you want to talk about the morality that we don't face for common day things that we do or consume, that makes sense. We all have cell phones, we all have technology that is brought about because of slave laborers and all that kind of disgusting stuff. Half the things that we wear and everything like that probably was made out of somebody being abused in some way. And there is an interesting idea there to explore, because it is a disconnect that most people have with their things and their stuff. And there is that kind of stuff on the internet too. But this is so extreme, and it's so obvious up front that it makes no sense. The storyline has Zane immediately going to beataslut.net and then beating his own, meat.com. So it's not a surprise that he's into this. And then the fact that over the next hour we cut back and forth between the other character realizing that his friend Zane is into some weird ass, disturbing stuff. But this is the thing. It's clear that our friend isn't into this. He just doesn't know how to approach this subject with his friend. I mean, I think probably somebody should be calling the authorities, but it's unclear how much time has passed. It made it seem like Josh at a party walked in on his friend Zane, spanking his meat wagon to beataslut.net, and then the next day he's like awkward about it, because it's like, what do you do? Do you call the cops? Do you tell your friend? Do you, like, I get it. There's like this part because you have your friend. Like, it's a muddled situation. But the movie's like gonna punish this guy because he is somehow culpable for all this as well. I don't know if he is. It's all confusing. And what the real confusing part is, almost all of the torture sequences are to this innocent woman on a webcam or other people on a webcam. And the moments where Zane, the guy who perpetrated and enjoyed this show, is tortured as well, but it's off screen. You see the aftermath of his torture, but the live torture we're forced to watch of this woman. And is that the point? I don't know. It's confusing. So it just makes the message all confusing, and it's kind of pointless then. Maybe I just don't get it, which is 100% possible. But I don't know. Like, the other thing with this is, if we're just talking about in general the videos and the pornography we consume, I'm not here to like kink shame people. Consenting adults can do whatever they want, and while it may look weird to me who's not interested in that whatever kind of thing they are, if two people are enjoying themselves and they're both consenting, then do whatever you fucking want. And you don't need to make some morality tale based on that because you don't understand it. I get it. If someone's getting hurt, yes, we need to have empathy for people. But there's so many more ways you could have went and explored the story that would have made it be a little bit more relatable, maybe. It comes out incoherent to me, and it feels like torture for torture's sake. The other thing about this movie is, get it supernatural, but there's a part where we see the woman get murdered, and then we see her blood flow into the internet router. And I guess that's supposed to explain how Zane gets teleported to the supernatural room where Freddy Krueger shows up and tortures him and stuff. Like, why bother showing that? That's trying to explain something that really is unexplainable while leaving 90% of the stuff unexplained, making like, why did you explain that? Because nothing's explained. I can't explain it. So I'm always down for a good morality tale, and you could have done something a little simpler, I think, to kind of justify this morality tale. In the end, like I said, it seems confused and weird, and I didn't get it, and I didn't really enjoy it. If you liked it, though, that's great. You don't need to leave an ad hominem attack about me below. You could just say you liked it, and that would be a good way to express your feelings in a mature way. But let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Goodbye.